Good morning, everyone. It's a few days later. I've been busy putting roof on the house and on my stepson's one of his buildings. And today I'm going to be hauling soybeans in. But the elevator it's Saturday, and the elevator doesn't open till 10. So I got a few minutes here just to do a little bit with the sawmill. I'm going to try to spread the I-beams apart without tipping them over. And then I'll share with you some of my plans of how I'm modifying it from how it was assembled before in order to better utilize the diameter of the blade I have and direction the blade I have is meant to be used. So I'll get at it and see if I can get these I-beams spread apart a little bit. I'll get a tape measure now because I'm sure I won't get lucky and set them exactly the right distance like I did with leveling. inch too close yet. Well, I think that's going to be it for now. Maybe I'll get some done tomorrow if it's supposed to rain, but if it isn't raining, I'll get some done tomorrow probably. I looked at the clock and I decided I have a little more time yet. So I'm going to see if I can get enough done here to mock it up so you have an idea what I'm going to be doing. One thing I definitely like about old skid loaders is you can see so good without a cage, and you can get off of them climbing over the top of the boom instead of underneath. But then you got the danger factor of no cage. some of you maybe already guessed it, but I'm reconfiguring the sawmill from styled like a bell saw, where the arbor or mandrel goes underneath the track frame, to turning it around and having a husk. And I'm accomplishing a couple things. Well, it's turning it from a right-hand mill to a left-hand mill. But the important thing is, by the carriage not having to roll over the top of the arbor, I'm actually going to be gaining about 4 inches of usable blade, 4 to 5 inches. And also importantly is, the blade I have comes from a left-hand mill, and if I put it on the right-hand mill, the log would be on the wrong side of the blade, if the blade is hammered the way it's supposed to be from the reading I've done. Now mind you, I have no experience with sawmills whatsoever. It's everything I've been reading, but I might as well do everything I can to try and help my chances. And the blades I have, because the blade that came with it was only 32 inches, and if I left it configured the way it was, by the time the carriage took up space, you know, because it rolls over the top of the arbor, out of that 32-inch blade, I'd wind up with only about 11 inches of usable blade, and that isn't cutting a very big log. People say a 16-inch log is about as big as you could do with them, with that blade, you know, when you slab, you know, take the sides off first. So I'm going to be putting on a 48-inch blade, a removal insert blade, and I'm thinking it's all going to be definitely worth the actual work of setting up the way, this way. And also, like I say, the log will be on the correct side of the blade compared to the mill that blade came off of. So I'm going to keep at it, mocking it up here a little bit. I don't know if you follow everything I mumble about. Let's see what I have for junk sitting around here. Prop under there for mopping up. Well, that looks just about perfect. Lo and behold, I have another one of these sitting right here. I think you're all getting the idea now. So this is the way it was set up. And the track went just over the shaft, and the carriage is 3 inches. So the top of the carriage was 1.5 inches above this collar. So you're actually only, I'd say what I'm considering usable blade, I don't know if you can get the boards down that close, but what I'm calling usable is down to this collar for the blade. So you're losing 1.5 inches because the top of the carriage was 1.5 inches above that collar. Well, I want to move this bearing all the way out to here so you don't have this 3 inches of shaft hanging out there. That gives it a lot more strength and stability, especially seeing I'm going to be putting on a bigger blade. And by doing that, I would have to put the track all the way up here to go over the top of that bearing block. So then I would, let's see, the collar is 1.5 inches, but 2 inches to the track and 3 inches up for the carriage would be 5 inches up from the shaft. So it would be 3.5 inches down to this collar. So I'd be losing 3.5 inches of usable blade, which I think is a big waste. Oh, and yeah, I think that's, which I think is a big waste. So I'm turning it around, and I'm turning, and my blade, the log would be on the wrong side of the blade for the mill that blade came off of the, and the log would be on the wrong side of the blade for the way I believe it's hammered. So by reconfiguring this, I'm going to be able to set the arbor at the right height so that the top of my 3-inch carriage, I'll probably set it up so it's only about 1/2 inch above that collar. So I'm going to be gaining like 2.5 inches of usable blade, maybe 3 inches of usable blade, which I think is a lot. And I say the advantage of the blade, log being on the right side of the blade, gaining the amount of usable blade, and having the bearing all the way out here. And I also checked that it'd be a lot bulkier now, but still I can get the sawmill set up so it's legal width, completely assembled. So that's my plan, if you can follow what I'm saying. I'll probably post this because it might be a number of days till I get back at it, because I have to go haul beans now. You know, I gotta fund these projects somehow. So thanks again for watching. I hope you're can follow my madness here. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.